Cyprus is my homeland, the place I return to whenever I can. Uncle Eddie? Spending time with my family means enjoying the natural beauty of the island and sharing its harvest of wonderful food. Many of my favourite dishes have been passed down the family through the generations, but I also love to discover new recipes when I'm here on the island. In this series, I'm sharing some of my favourite recipes, both ancient and modern. So join me for the gorgeous tastes and aromas in my Cypriot kitchen. Coming up, I discover a plantation of herbal teas grown for their health benefits in the Troodos Mountains. I can actually taste it in the back of my throat. It feels amazing. I'm making a delicious and wholesome tahini soup, and my family arrive for dinner, so I'm cooking something I know they'll all love, a traditional lamb and pasta dish, yuvetsi.
Is it nice? Oh, good.
I'm off to meet my cousin Julie in the beautiful village of Lefkara, where we've been told there's a produce market. I'm presuming it's going to be a little bit like a farmer's market back in Britain, but it's something very new to the Cypriots, so it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. The village takes its name from the white of its silica and limestone. Lefka means white. Lefkara is well known as a lace-making village and also for its silversmithing. And maybe, as time goes on, it'll be famous for this market as well. Okay, this is one of my favourite things of all time. These are the fig cakes that are flavoured with aniseed and they've got lovely almonds in them as well. Do you like these, Julie?
Yeah.
Yeah? Actually, you know, with your dad's figs...
Yeah, we could make some.
You could make some. Do you make some?
No.
No.
Dad can make it.
So lazy. So we've got some homegrown honey. This young man gets it himself. Yes. I'm just going to have a little look. So this is honey on the comb.
If you want to try.
Oh yes, I do want to try. So when do you collect honey?
May.
May?
And August.
May and August, okay. Oh, I'm going to get a little bit of this. Oh, πες μου λίγο για τις μέλισσες τις κυπριακές.
Η μέλισσα κυπριακή της αρέσει να δουλεύει αρκετές ώρες, δουλεύει όλη την ημέρα, αλλά το πρόβλημα είναι ότι είναι επιθετική, είναι λίγο άγρια.
Okay. So the Cypriot bees are not like normal bees. They're actually really, really vicious. You mustn't bash onto the hive. You've got to be very gentle. Actually, you've got to treat Greek bees very similar to the way you treat Greek women. There you go, gently. It's always great to meet the food producers themselves and see how passionate they are about it. Oh, teas. Herbal teas. Yasas. Yasas. Ah, look, we've got... This is like a pharmacy, you know.
It's the nature's pharmacy.
Where do you get all the ingredients from, like the rose hip and...
We cultivate everything that you can see here.
You do?
My mother, actually, it's a family business. The people in the past, they were doing almost everything right. They didn't use fertilizers into anything that they used to cultivate, or even when they were having animals, they didn't use any vaccines. We have to return back to our roots, back to nature.
Philakthis is absolutely right about what we can learn from looking back at how our ancestors lived their lives. He's got me intrigued about his tea plantation and has agreed to show me around later. But a morning of looking at food has made me really hungry. So it's back to the villa to make one of my favourite soups using a variety of fresh local vegetables with pasta. This is one of the first recipes my mum taught me. Today I'm making tahini soup, and for this soup you can use whatever ingredients are in season or whatever you've got in your fridge. But I'm going to use 2 or 3 of sweet potatoes, lovely Cypriot potatoes, onions, carrots, celery, courgettes, tomatoes, and my lovely garlic, which I love lots of. But if you don't want to have it too garlicky, just put 2 or 3 cloves. I'm going to put 6 or 7 in. But the first thing I need to do is to soften my onions with some lovely olive oil. Just need to add about 3 generous tablespoons of olive oil. Just need to tip the onions in and let them soften. Whilst the onions are softening, I'm going to chop the hard vegetables. And they just need to be coarsely chopped. Don't worry too much about it, but just try and get them the same size, because if they're all the same size, then they all cook at about the same time. Sweet potatoes are a good source of vitamin C and E and also help to maintain steady blood sugar levels. Finally, we've got wonderful Cypriot potatoes, and they're very good in soups like this because they hold their shape, they don't melt too much. Right, that's the potatoes done, so I'm going to just drop those into the pan, but I'm not going to add the garlic just yet. That's going to go in last, because sometimes if you put garlic in early, it can get a bit bitter. And I'm also going to add at this stage the carrots and celery. So I'm just going to pour those in, give them a good stir, and pop the lid on so they can sweat off while I cut the soft vegetables. I'm just going to chop up some courgettes and a couple of lovely Cypriot tomatoes. And as I'm slicing through them, I'm getting that lovely sweet aroma. So these have been sweating for a couple of minutes, and now I'm going to add all the ingredients, including the garlic, and give it a good stir. And then I'm going to add 1 cube of vegetable stock that I've dissolved, and just under 1.5 litres of water, and leave that to simmer for about half an hour till the vegetables are lovely and soft. Whilst they're simmering, we'll make our tahini mixture. So you need 5 tablespoons of tahini, and tahini is actually ground sesame seeds. And to that, I'm going to add the juice of 1 lemon. Make sure that you don't get any pips into the mixture. And you mix that well together. And that's thickened beautifully, so I'm going to take this and my pasta over to the oven. The vegetables have been simmering for about half an hour, and I've allowed them to cool a little bit before I blitz them. You need to make sure that you've blitzed the vegetables really well. And now I'm ready to add the tahini. Put that in and stir it in well. Just to be on the safe side, give that a quick blitz too. And now for the moment of truth. Get to taste the soup. Okay, that needs a little bit of salt and a good helping of black pepper. Now, you add the orso pasta in. Gritharagi, or orso pasta, is dried pasta made in the shape of rice grains, so it's often used in soups and casseroles in Greek and Cypriot cooking. And that'll take about 10-15 minutes to cook, and then you're going to have the most nutritious tahini soup. Then you can garnish the soup with Greek yogurt and a sprinkle of parsley. Coming up, I taste some herbal teas grown for their health-giving properties in the Troodos Mountains. I like that one. This must be another calming one. And as my family arrive for dinner, I'm cooking a favourite traditional lamb recipe, yuvetsi. Say yummy! Yummy! Yeah! I'm in my homeland of Cyprus, enjoying recipes traditional and modern. Oh. At the farmer's market in Lefkara, I discovered something new. I didn't realise that herbal tea was grown in Cyprus, so I've come to find out more from the herbal tea growers themselves in the Drodos Mountains. This is a family business started by Maria and continuing through the generations. I've come to talk to her daughter Yanula and grandson Philachti. Yanula, thank you so much for having me here today. This is such a beautiful place. What inspired you to make a herb garden?
Εδώ είναι ένας δικός μου παράδεισος από βότανα. Ήταν ένα όνειρο το οποίο έχω κάνει πραγματικότητα.
Kyria Yanula has said that this is all from her inspiration, and she loves working with herbs and using herbs to find out different medicinal ways of making them help people, and she's living in her own little paradise, actually. When you think about it, most people just want to take a pill to make themselves better. How are the Cypriots taking to herbs?
The last 3-4 years they start to wake up, and there is now a very wide bend towards the nature. Not only the herbs, but towards the natural way of dealing with life, dealing with stress, dealing with the worries that the day life throws to us today. So, and the herbs is just like going back to our roots.
I've noticed there are lots of herbs of the same species, but they're all slightly different. Kyria Yanula, will you come and tell me a little bit about those?
Yes, of course.
Πάμε να το κοιτάξουμε. I love using herbs to cook with because they taste and smell great, and it's good to know they may offer health benefits too. This is a lovely herb, marjoram.
Marjoram, ναι.
Marjoram is good generally for your digestive system. Και εδώ έχουμε
διάφορα
θυμάρια.
θυμάρια.
So we've got πόσα έχουμε? We've got so many different types of thyme here. We've got 5 different types. Τι είναι η διαφορία? What's the difference?
Υπάρχει το θυμάρι το οποίο βοηθά στα κρυολογήματα, όμως έχουμε το θυμάρι το οποίο βοηθά στο βήχα.
Okay, so
ειδικά για το βήχα.
So there's different types of thyme. There's one that's really good if you've got a cold, and there's one that's fantastic specifically if you've got a sore throat. Απόψε θα μαγειρεύουμε λίγη θύμη. Γίνεται να μου κόψεις λίγο?
Βέβαια, να σας κόψω.
I'm going to be cooking with thyme later, so I'm going to take a little bit with me now. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Προχωρούμε. Family's plantation has been here for over 10 years, and they grow over 200 herbs and teas. Agis has brought me to his herbal plantation, where I'm going to try some herbal teas. Not fresh from the pot, but fresh from the field. And this must be one of the only places you could do that in the world. It's going to be amazing. What tea am I going to try first?
We're going to try the sweet marjoram. It's one of the native plants of Cyprus, and it's well known and well used in everything, from cooking to tea to essential oil to cosmetics.
So what do I need to do?
The only thing that you need to do is just cut a little bit of branches, the ones that they are like this, blossom,
the top
ones, yeah. Just put them in the cup.
Okay.
And a little bit of water.
Okay. Let me try that.
And your tea, in a few minutes, it's going to be ready.
It already smells pretty aromatic. Yeah. Just by kind of crushing the herbs, you can smell them. Okay. It's quite a strong smell. It's really very floral.
The fresh ones, they need a little bit of further time to let
brew,
loose.
But I can absolutely taste that. I can actually taste it in the back of my throat. It feels amazing.
Yeah, it's a unique smell and a taste of sweet marjoram.
Oh, I like that one. What else have we got to try? What flower is this?
It's calendula. You just put just the flowers inside.
Let me have a taste of that. I like that one. This must be another calming one, because I can feel myself really relaxing with this tea.
It's a calming tea, but as well as a cream, it can be used for the sensitive skins.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have sunburns or any type
Actually, I
of
remember
burns,
using a calendula nappy rash cream on my sons.
Yes, it's used especially for the babies because they have very sensitive skin.
So it's good for sensitivity.
Yeah.
Now this is the reason why roses are my favourite. The smell is intoxicating. I cannot wait to try some rose tea.
This is a unique tea.
It's one of the aromas that I think of when I think of Cyprus.
It's not only just the smell of it, just the color of it. And the healing properties of the rose, that makes them unique. It's used as calming tea for everybody, for the adults, for the infants, for the young kids. And the essential oil of the rose has the property to regenerate the cells of the skin.
Ah, so it's good for skin as well. So it's
It's the
another one
best,
that is good for your skin. So I've got a great excuse to be drinking tons and tons of this wonderful rose tea. I'm leaving the plantation behind because I need to get back to the villa to start cooking. My parents are coming for dinner and I want to make something delicious. This is a wonderfully flavoursome recipe. It's a great combination of lamb and pasta and typically Cypriot flavours, including tomatoes, cinnamon and of course the thyme I picked earlier. I'm going to cook yuvetsi, and it's one of my favourite dishes, and mainly because my children love it. And it's so simple to do. First thing you need to do is to just put some oil on to heat up. And then add the meat in batches so you don't crowd the pan. You're not cooking it now, you're just browning it and sealing in the juices. Ready to take the first batch out and just put the meat in another bowl while you brown off the rest. And you keep going till you've browned off all the lamb. Now, a great tip to know is that the lamb isn't browned off till it stops sticking to the pan. If it's sticking to the pan, it's not ready yet. Now, add the onions. But you don't need to brown these off, it's just until they become nice and translucent. To the onions, I'm going to add my spices now to bring out their flavours. Now, I use cinnamon, I use lots of cinnamon, but you've got to make sure that you use this type of cinnamon bark. Do not, under any circumstances, get the quilled one. It's a totally different flavour, totally different smell, and it just will not give the dish the taste that you want. So you need around, I don't know, quite a few, 5, 6, 7 pieces of cinnamon for a dish this big. Now I'm going to add my thyme, what we got from our lovely herb garden. You just need to pull it off. If you've got fresh thyme, just pull it off the stalks, sprinkle it in. So you put all the thyme in, give it a really good stir to release that wonderful perfume. Now ready for the garlic. Now I've got rather a lot of garlic because I love it. And it's so good for you, so why not have loads? And now for the tomatoes, around 1 kilo of chopped tomatoes. Give it a good stir, and then you're ready to add the lamb back to the pan. All those gorgeous juices. Just need to have a little taste now. I've forgotten something. Tomato puree. I'm going to use a whole little can of tomato paste and just literally stir it in and leave that to simmer. The yuvetsi has been simmering away for around an hour. I'm now ready to add 1.5 cups of orzo or glitharagi pasta. And now I need to add water because the pasta is going to soak up all those juices whilst it's cooking. And now I'm going to pop it in the oven for around 15 to 20 minutes, but I need to keep an eye on it. If it's starting to look dry, I need to add a little bit more water. And to finish the dish off, garnish with kefalotiri or strong cheddar cheese. I love cooking for my family. Cypriot families are nearly always finding any excuse to get together over food, and cooking something delicious to share is all part of the get-together. I hope you're hungry because I've made the girls' favourite dish. Here are Juvetzi. Shall I serve you all?
Lovely, yes, please.
All right then, Sofiamo.
Yes, right.
Here you are. Zefiromo. There you are, Zefiromo. There you go. This is what Cypriot life is all about. Cooking, being with family and friends, chatting and eating and just enjoying the good life. Cypriots have been doing this for centuries after all, and I think it really binds families and communities together. Right, you're my harshest critics. What do you think of my food?
Beautiful. Really
Yeah?
lovely. The meat is very tender. And as we are very hungry, it goes down nicely.
Lovely. Say yummy.
No.
Yummy, yay! And Zefiromo?
Is it nice? Oh, good. I'm glad you like it.
Everyone's enjoying the Juvetzi, so I'm happy. And to round off the evening, my eldest daughter Antigone has agreed to serenade us.
Come on, let's go, you said to me. You took my hand and you whisked me round the corner, made sure no one could see. You looked at me and I smiled at you. You told me that I looked pretty. You made my knees go weak. You brushed my hair behind my ear as you bent down to kiss me. Then you told the most beautiful lie. You told me that you love me so. Πώς πήγαν λάθος αυτή και στα αισθήματα που είχες για μένα. Και κλαίω για σένα κάθε μέρα σπάει η καρδιά μου. Λες πως φταίεις εσύ και όχι εγώ. Σε παρακαλώ, τη χαμένα λόγια.